Focus on the center. Focus on the center. Don't focus on your circumference. What does that mean? Your circumference is everything around you, right? What's in your bank account, what you see in the mirror, when you go to work, what's going on in your job and your business, all your results, your current situation. If we want to resolve the circumference, we got to resolve the center. Now, just to wrap this up, I just want to read you something. Psycho-Cybernetics, the best book that explains how your mind works and how your self-image guides it and runs it. Certainly, if you haven't read this book, I'd certainly encourage you to do it. I took everything that was in this book around self-image and the mind, and I put it into my book to really dummy it down simply. This is a fairly complicated owner's manual on the mind, but that took me years to figure it out and dummy it down into a little cheat sheet, if you will, which I put in my book. But I want to read something to you. It's in chapter 1. So this book is about, chapter 1 is called The Self-Image, Your Key to a Better Life. And at the very bottom of the first page, he's pulling from a January 1959 issue of Cosmopolitan magazine. And he's summarizing results obtained by various psychologists and medical doctors. Understanding the psychology of self can mean the difference between success and failure, love and hate, bitterness and happiness. The discovery of the real self can rescue a crumbling marriage, recreate a faltering career, and transform victims of personality failure. On another plane, discovering your real self means the difference between freedom and the compulsions of conformity. And he goes on to talk about this idea of working on going inside and changing, correcting, clearing up your inaccurate, your mistaken self-image, your mistaken identity. And in order to create a self-image to succeed, the only way you can do it is you have to get rid of any falsehoods or misconceptions or negative ideas about how you see yourself. I don't know if I can, it's another thing I wanted to, oh, here it is. So he goes on here, your key to a better life. The most important psychological discovery of this century is the discovery of the self-image. Whether we realize it or not, each of us carries about with us a mental blueprint or picture of ourselves. It may be vague and ill-defined to our conscious gaze. In fact, it may not be consciously recognizable at all. Now, when I talk to you, I recognize it very, very quickly, whether you do or not. But it is there, complete, down to the every last detail. The self-image is your conception of the sort of person you are. It's been built up from our own beliefs about ourselves, but most of these beliefs about ourselves have unconsciously been formed from our past experiences, our successes, our failures, our humiliations, our triumphs, and the way other people have reacted to us, especially in early childhood. Okay? So don't focus on the circumference. If you want to fix your circumference, you got to go to the center. And so that's where this came from. I was really suffering and struggling with my circumference. And of course, because I was struggling with my suffering and circumference, my inner was suffering. Anxiety, depression, self-loathing, shame, guilt, resentment, all these negative emotions that, of course, hampered me and limited me from fixing the circumference. And the reason I was feeling the way I was feeling about myself, because I had a mistaken identity, I had a misconception about who I was and who I wasn't, and what I was capable of and what I wasn't capable of. And it caused a lot of problem. And that's the work I do now. 65, 70% of adults have been through very difficult circumstances as a kid that have formed this really negative conception and self-image, and it causes all kinds of problems in your life. Causes you to make all kinds of mistakes, gets you in a lot of trouble, and you cause a lot of shit, and you feel like shit, and other people treat you like shit, and you treat yourself like shit because of this shitty view you have of yourself. So that's what I do. You've got to really clear up your mistaken identity. So if you've not read my book, you might have bought it, but haven't read it. If you have not read my book and just gone through the book and see what the book does to you, because just reading my book will clear up a bunch of things. It'll clear up a bunch of junk for you. And then, of course, I take people through my book in the form of a course that you can do yourself, or you can do live with me in the form of what I call the retreat, where I'm with you every day, 5 days a week for 6 weeks, 30 chapters, and I show you how to implement what's in the book to clear up this negative conception of yourself, so you can enjoy life, because you are made for more, and you are definitely meant for more, and you probably are in your own way. So don't focus on the circumference. Fix the circumference by focusing on the center. And if you listen to my advice here, I don't make this shit up just to sound good. I don't even like actually coming on here and pontificating things. But I do like coming on here and just trying to help you avoid mistakes that you're going to make, that I made, and many, many people continue to make. I made a lot of them, and I've learned a lot. I'm very wise. Wisdom comes through time and experience. I had some very difficult experiences, and I'm 61, so I'm very wise because of that. And I want to just pass on some wisdom to you. So I hope this has helped you. We do these all the time. We'll be doing another. We'll be doing another